They laughed at you, didn't they? Mocked your dreams, called you foolish, said you'd never make it. Good. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them whisper behind your back. Because, my friend, the world always laughs before it bows. History is proof. Greatness is often born in the fire of rejection. The ones who change the world are the ones who were once ridiculed by it. They mocked Edison before he gave them light. They laughed at the Wright brothers before they flew above their heads. They doubted Steve Jobs before they held his creation in their hands. But here's the trick. They laughed at you, didn't they? They mocked your dreams, dismissed your ambitions, and made you feel like you were a fool for even trying. Good, because every great story starts with laughter. Not the kind that comes from joy, but the kind that comes from disbelief. The world has always laughed before it bowed. The question is, what will you do with their laughter? When they laugh at you, understand one thing. Their laughter is not about you. It is about them. It is about their fears, their limitations, their inability to see beyond what is ordinary. People laugh at what they don't understand. They mock what they secretly fear. They doubt what they know they could never achieve themselves. Remember this. No one ever laughs at someone going nowhere. No one wastes their energy doubting the ordinary. If they are laughing at you, it means you are attempting something that shakes the foundation of their small thinking. It means you are doing something they don't have the courage to do. And that alone should make you proud. Think about the people who changed the world. When they first spoke about their dreams, they were laughed at. Thomas Edison, they said he was wasting his time trying to create artificial light. The Wright brothers, people thought they were insane for believing humans could fly. Steve Jobs, they called him a dropout with a wild imagination. But here's the thing. They didn't waste their energy arguing. They didn't try to convince anyone with words. They let their success do the talking. And in the end, the world that laughed had no choice but to admire them. Do you see what's happening here? Laughter is not an obstacle. It is a signal that you are on the right path, a signal that you are doing something significant enough to be noticed, a signal that you are attempting what others consider impossible. If you were just another ordinary person living an ordinary life, they wouldn't bother. But you are not. That is why they laugh. Imagine a sculptor working on a piece of stone. In the beginning, it looks like nothing, just a rough, unshaped block. People walk by and laugh, wondering why someone would waste their time hammering away at a lifeless rock. But the sculptor sees something they don't. He keeps chiseling, keeps shaping, keeps working, and one day, that same block of stone becomes a masterpiece. The same people who laughed now stand in awe, admiring what was once just a shapeless rock. That is what is happening to you. Right now, they don't see what you are becoming. They only see the rough edges, the struggles, the failures. They don't understand that you are in the process of shaping your destiny. And that's okay. Let them laugh. Because in time, they will be the ones who stand before you in admiration. Think about a child learning to walk. How many times does the child fall? How many times do people around them smile or even chuckle as they struggle to take their first steps? But does the child stop? No. The child gets up again and again until one day they walk with confidence. And the same people who once laughed now cheer. Life works the same way. They may laugh at you now, but only because they don't realize that every failure, every struggle, every setback is just another step toward your greatness. There is no power in trying to silence the laughter. The real power lies in using it as fuel. Every time they mock you, let it remind you that you are onto something big. Every time they doubt you, let it push you harder. Every time they say you can't, hear it as a challenge. Because there is no greater satisfaction than proving them wrong. Not with words, but with results. Think of a farmer planting a seed. In the beginning, there is nothing to see, just dirt. If someone were to pass by, they might laugh, wondering why he's watering the ground when there is nothing there. But the farmer knows better. He doesn't let the laughter distract him. He keeps watering, keeps nurturing, keeps believing. And then one day, the first sprout appears. Slowly but surely it grows into something magnificent. The same people who laughed now stand under the shade of the tree that once seemed impossible. That is the journey of success. It never looks impressive in the beginning. It never makes sense to the doubters. But for those who believe, for those who endure, for those who refuse to be discouraged by the noise, victory is inevitable. So let them laugh, let them talk, let them doubt. Because in time, their laughter will fade, their voices will grow silent, and all that will remain is your success, standing tall, undeniable, and unshakable. When they doubt you, when they insult you, when they belittle your dreams, don't waste your energy trying to convince them. Do not argue. Do not explain. Do not beg for their approval, because words mean nothing to those who have already decided not to believe in you. Instead, let your success be the only response they ever hear. A lion does not roar back at barking dogs. It walks forward unbothered, knowing that its presence alone commands respect. When people throw negativity at you, when they challenge your worth with words, they expect you to fight back with the same. But here's the truth most people never understand. Real power is silent. The strongest storm does not announce itself. The tallest tree does not shout for attention. It simply grows until its presence is undeniable. Think about a student in school. There are always those who tease, who doubt, who say, "You're not smart enough, you'll never make it." Some students waste time arguing, trying to convince their critics that they are capable. But the smartest ones, they don't waste their breath. They study in silence. They work harder than anyone expects. And when the exam results come, when they stand at the top, the same voices that once mocked them fall silent. Because when you have results, no explanation is needed. Look at the greatest athletes in the world. Do you think they sit and argue with their critics? No. When people said Michael Jordan wasn't good enough, he didn't waste his time debating. He practiced. He trained harder than anyone else. He let his performance on the court do the talking. And now his name is legend. Success is the loudest voice in any room. A person who has achieved greatness doesn't need to shout. They don't need to prove themselves with words. They walk into a room and their presence speaks before they even open their mouth. Because results are undeniable. No one can argue with what is right in front of them. Imagine a young entrepreneur trying to build a business. His friends laugh at him. His family tells him to stop wasting his time. Strangers on the internet mock his efforts. If he spends his time replying to every insult, defending his dream, explaining why he will succeed, he loses valuable time. Time that could be spent building his empire. But if he ignores the noise, if he grinds in silence, if he puts in the work and lets his success unfold, there will come a day when those same people will be forced to acknowledge his achievements, and he won't have to say a single word. People love to argue, they love to gossip, they love to drag others down with meaningless words. But words do not create reality, actions do. When someone says you can't do something, don't fight them. Show them. When someone tries to tear you down, don't lower yourself to their level. Rise so high that their voices can no longer reach you. Think about a man climbing a mountain. The higher he goes, the harder the wind pushes against him. The people below watch and shout, "Come down, you'll never make it." He could waste his breath yelling back, arguing, trying to convince them that he is strong enough to reach the top. But what good would that do? Instead, he keeps climbing. He focuses on each step. He doesn't look down, doesn't listen to the noise. And when he finally stands at the peak, he doesn't need to say a word. The fact that he made it is all the answer they will ever need. This is how life works. The world is full of doubters, full of people who will try to bring you down with their words. But if you let your results speak for you, they will have no choice but to listen. Success shuts mouths. It silences critics. It turns laughter into admiration, doubt into respect, and enemies into spectators. You don't need to prove yourself with empty words. You don't need to defend your dreams to those who were never meant to see your vision. You just need to act, to build, to keep moving forward, because in the end, words fade, but results last forever. They laughed at you, they mocked your dreams, they whispered behind your back, saying you would never make it. They told you to give up, to be realistic, to settle for a life that fit inside their small imagination. But here's the truth. Those who doubt you today will be the ones clapping for you tomorrow. Success has a way of making even the loudest critics go silent, of turning those who once insulted you into admirers. When a seed is planted, no one sees its struggle beneath the soil. No one notices when it is fighting against the darkness, pushing against the weight of the earth, stretching toward the light. People walk past, unaware that beneath their feet, something powerful is growing. But one day, that seed breaks through. It becomes a mighty tree, standing tall for the world to see. And suddenly, the same people who ignored it now admire its beauty, now seek its shade, now respect its presence. This is how success works. In the beginning, no one believes in you. They don't see your struggle. They don't understand your vision, and they don't respect your grind. But when you rise, when you prove them wrong with results, they have no choice but to acknowledge what you have become. Think about the greatest inventors, athletes, and leaders in history. Every single one of them faced doubt, criticism, and rejection. When Thomas Edison was trying to invent the light bulb, people called him a fool. They said he was wasting his time, that he should quit. But when he finally succeeded, the same world that mocked him now calls him a genius. When Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job in television, her bosses told her she wasn't fit for TV. Today she is one of the most respected and influential figures in the world. Critics are loud when you are struggling, but silent when you succeed. The same people who doubted you will suddenly start asking how you did it. The same voices that tried to break you will now speak your name with admiration. They will rewrite history, pretending they always believed in you. They will try to stand next to you, hoping that your success will somehow rub off on them. Imagine a young boy who dreams of becoming a professional athlete. His classmates laugh at him. They say, "You'll never make it." His coach tells him he isn't talented enough. But instead of arguing, instead of fighting with words, he trains harder. He wakes up before the sun, runs when others are sleeping, practices when others are partying. Years later, when he stands on the biggest stage, when his name is written in history, those same classmates will be the first to post about him, saying, "We always knew he would make it." People admire strength, they respect perseverance, but only after you have proven yourself. Before that, they will test you. They will challenge your belief in yourself. They will see if they can shake you. That is the nature of life. Everyone wants to believe in a winner, but no one supports the struggle. Think about a businessman who starts with nothing. In the beginning, his own family doubts him. His friends tell him to get a real job. People say he is wasting his time. But he doesn't argue. He doesn't try to prove them wrong with words. He simply builds. He works harder than anyone else. He sacrifices comfort, ignores the laughter, and stays focused on his dream. Then one day, his company becomes a success. Suddenly, those who doubted him now want to do business with him. The friends who laughed now want advice. The same people who called him crazy now admire his courage. That is the magic of success. It rewrites opinions. It forces people to respect what they once ignored. It turns doubt into belief, insults into compliments, enemies into fans. When you face criticism, do not let it break you. Do not waste your energy trying to convince small minds of your greatness. Let your success be your answer. Let your results be your voice. Because when you rise, when you succeed, the same people who laughed at you will be the first to say, "I always believed in you." They demand an explanation. They want you to justify your dreams, your choices, your ambition. They question why you think differently, why you don't follow the crowd, why you dare to believe in something bigger than what they can see. But listen to me, never explain yourself. Never lower your vision to fit inside their small minds. Never waste your breath trying to convince those who are determined not to understand you. A lion does not explain to sheep why it hunts alone. The sun does not ask for permission to rise. The ocean does not seek approval before making waves. And you, why should you feel the need to justify who you are? In this world, people will always have opinions. They will doubt you, they will judge you, they will question you. Some will even laugh at you. And the moment you start explaining yourself, you give them power. You give them the satisfaction of knowing that their words have made you insecure, that their doubts have forced you to seek validation. But here's the truth. You owe no one an explanation for the life you choose to live. Think about the most powerful people in history. Do you think Steve Jobs explained why he dropped out of college? Do you think Elon Musk sat down with critics and tried to convince them that electric cars would change the world? No, they simply built. They worked in silence. They let their results speak, and when success came, the world had no choice but to listen. Every second you spend explaining yourself is a second you could have used to move forward. If someone doesn't believe in your vision, let them stay behind. If someone questions your path, let them watch from the sidelines. The strongest people in the world don't argue. They don't defend. They don't seek approval. They simply do. Imagine a young girl who dreams of becoming an artist. Her parents tell her it's unrealistic. Her teachers say it's a waste of time. Her friends don't understand why she isn't chasing a normal career. She could spend hours explaining her passion, trying to make them see what she sees. Or she could simply paint, create, pour her energy into her craft. And one day when her artwork is displayed in galleries, when people admire her talent, when her name becomes known, the same people who doubted her will suddenly pretend they always believed in her. People don't respect explanations. They respect results. They respect action. A man training for a marathon does not need to explain why he wakes up before dawn to run. A woman building her business does not need to explain why she sacrifices sleep to chase her dream. A student striving for excellence does not need to explain why they study while others party. Because in the end, words are meaningless. The only language the world truly understands is success. When you explain yourself, you give others control over your narrative. You allow them to question you, to plant doubt in your mind, to shake your confidence. But when you move in silence, when you stay focused, when you refuse to be distracted by opinions, you become unstoppable. Think about a tree growing in the forest. It does not explain to the other trees why it stretches toward the sky. It simply grows. It does not wait for permission. It does not seek approval. It just becomes. And that is exactly what you must do. Move forward. Build. Succeed. And when the world finally sees what you have created, you will not need to explain anything, because your success will say it all. Your emotions are powerful. They can lift you to greatness or chain you to failure. They can be your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. But here's the truth. If you let your emotions control you, you will be a slave to the world. You will be pulled in every direction, manipulated by circumstances, and weakened by every little challenge life throws at you. But if you learn to control your emotions, you become unstoppable. Think about it. Anger, fear, sadness, frustration, these emotions are normal. Everyone feels them. But the difference between the strong and the weak is this. The weak react. The strong respond. The weak let their emotions dictate their actions, while the strong make their emotions work for them. Imagine a man who gets insulted. His first reaction, he explodes. He yells, he fights, he loses control. And in that moment, he has lost. Why? Because now his enemy knows exactly how to break him. His weakness has been exposed. Now anyone who wants to destroy him just has to press that same button. And he will keep falling into the same trap over and over again. Now imagine another man who hears the same insult. But instead of reacting, he smiles. He is calm, unmoved. His enemy gets frustrated because he cannot shake him. His confidence remains intact. His power remains untouched. And in that moment, he has won. Because the one who can control his emotions is the one who controls the situation. Think about a woman trying to build a business. She faces rejection after rejection. People tell her she won't make it. She could let her emotions take over, feel discouraged, give up, cry herself to sleep. Or she could feel the pain, acknowledge it, and then use it as fuel. She could take that rejection and turn it into motivation. She could say, I'll show them. And that is what separates winners from losers. The winners do not let emotions weaken them. They use emotions as energy, as drive, as power. Life will test you. It will throw problems at you, betrayals, heartbreaks, failures. And if every time something bad happens, you let yourself break down, then you will never rise. Because the truth is, life does not care about how you feel. It moves forward with or without you. And if you want to win, you have to learn to move forward no matter what is happening inside you. Think about a soldier on the battlefield. He is scared, his heart is racing, but does he drop his weapon and run? No, he pushes forward. Because if he lets fear take over, he dies. Now think about a student preparing for an exam. She feels overwhelmed, she wants to quit. But if she lets that emotion control her, she will fail. So instead, she puts the emotions aside and studies. This is life. Every day you have two choices. Be controlled by your emotions or control them. Be the slave or be the master. A person who is ruled by emotions is like a ship without a captain. Every little wave pushes it in a different direction. One moment they are happy, the next they are angry, the next they are hopeless. They have no stability, no control. But a person who has mastered their emotions, they are like a fortress. No storm, no insult, no failure can shake them. Look at the greatest leaders, the most powerful people in the world. Do you think they never feel emotions? Of course they do. But they do not allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They use their emotions wisely. When they feel fear, they turn it into courage. When they feel anger, they turn it into strategy. When they feel pain, they turn it into strength. You cannot avoid emotions, but you can decide what to do with them. Do not react, respond. Do not explode, analyze. Do not cry over problems, solve them. Because in the end, the one who controls his emotions controls his destiny. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The strongest minds, the true achievers, do not waste time announcing their plans, proving their worth, or begging for validation. They simply do the work. They move in silence. They let their results speak. And when the results come, they are so loud, so undeniable that the world has no choice but to pay attention. Look at a seed buried deep in the soil. It does not scream for attention. It does not demand the world to recognize its potential. It simply grows silently, patiently underground. And then one day it breaks through the surface. A mighty tree stands where there was once nothing. That is how success works. It does not come from talking about your dreams. It comes from building them in silence. Have you ever noticed that people who boast about their goals the most often achieve the least? They announce their plans to everyone, seeking applause before they have even begun. They tell the world they will be rich, successful, powerful, but then they do nothing. Their energy is wasted on words instead of actions. And as time passes, their big dreams fade into nothingness. Now look at the people who actually succeed. They do not talk, they work. While others are bragging, they are grinding. While others are seeking approval, they are sharpening their skills. They do not chase applause because they know that real success does not need validation. And when they finally reveal what they have built, the world is left in awe. Think of a young woman with a vision. She wants to start a business, change her life, prove herself. But she does not waste time announcing her plans on social media. She does not seek sympathy or encouragement. Instead, she works in the shadows. She wakes up early, she stays up late, she studies, she strategizes, she builds. No one sees her struggle. No one knows the sacrifices she is making. And then one day her business launches. It is a massive success. People are shocked. Where did she come from, they ask. How did this happen? They never saw the work she put in. They never heard the late night doubts, the silent battles, the quiet persistence. They only see the final masterpiece. And that is the power of working in silence. Silence protects your energy. It keeps you focused. When you share your plans with the world, you invite opinions, doubts, distractions. People will tell you why it won't work. They will laugh at your dreams. They will poison your mind with their limitations. But when you move in silence, no one can interfere. No one can discourage you. No one can stop what they do not see. Look at the greatest legends in history. Did they waste time explaining themselves? No, they let their work do the talking. Michael Jordan did not argue about his greatness. He showed it on the court. Steve Jobs did not beg people to believe in his vision. He built Apple and changed the world. Elon Musk does not debate whether he can achieve the impossible. He simply does it. Success is the loudest voice of all. You do not have to say a word when your results speak for you. The people who doubted you will fall silent. The ones who laughed at you will stare in disbelief. The ones who ignored you will suddenly want to know your secret. But by then it will be too late. They will realize that while they were talking, you were building. A lion does not need to announce it is a lion. It walks with presence and the jungle knows. Be that lion, work while they sleep, grind while they party, stay disciplined while they waste time. Because when the time comes, when your results finally reveal themselves, the noise will be so deafening that the world will have no choice but to listen. At first, they will doubt you. They will question your dreams, mock your ambitions, and label you as unrealistic. They will laugh at your struggle, dismiss your efforts, and tell you that you are chasing an illusion. They will remind you of every failure you have ever had, every limitation you carry, and every reason why you will never succeed. They will say, it's impossible, not because they have tried and failed, but because they have never tried at all. You will hear voices telling you to quit, to be practical, to stay in your lane. Your own family, your closest friends, the people you thought would support you, they will be the first to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Are you sure this will work? They will ask. Maybe you should try something safer. They will disguise their fear as advice, their insecurity as wisdom. But remember this, people do not doubt you because of your limits. They doubt you because of theirs. And yet, despite all their doubts, you will persist. You will put in the work. You will struggle in silence, face rejection, endure failures, and keep moving forward. And suddenly, something changes. The same people who doubted you will stop mocking you. They will stop laughing. They will stop questioning because they will see something they did not expect. They will see you rising. Now they are watching you. They do not believe in you yet, but they no longer dismiss you. They see your small victories, your relentless spirit, your refusal to break. They watch as you grow, as you defy the limits they placed on you, as you make the impossible look possible. They watch in silence, afraid to admit that you might actually succeed. They will act as if they are indifferent, but deep down, they are taking notes. They study your moves, trying to understand how you are pulling it off. They observe your work ethic, your discipline, your mindset. They watch as doors begin to open for you, as opportunities start flooding in. They see the shift happening before their eyes, and for the first time, they question themselves instead of you. Then, the final stage arrives. The same people who doubted you, who mocked you, who told you that you would never make it, now they copy you. They mimic your work, your style, your words, your vision. The same ones who said it was impossible are now the ones trying to follow in your footsteps. The same ones who call you crazy are now calling you a genius. And here's the irony. When you were struggling, they had all the reasons why you would fail. But once you succeed, they pretend they always knew you would make it. They act as if they supported you all along. They rewrite history in their minds, erasing their doubts and replacing them with admiration. But you will remember. You will remember every laugh, every insult, every rejection, and you will realize that their opinions never mattered in the first place. Success is the greatest revenge. You do not have to fight with words, you do not have to argue, you do not have to explain yourself. Just succeed, just rise, just prove them wrong through action. Let your results silence their doubts. Let your achievements be the answer to their mockery. It happens in every industry, in every era, with every great mind. When the Wright brothers spoke of flying, people called them fools. When Steve Jobs dreamed of putting a computer in every home, they called him delusional. When Elon Musk talked about colonizing Mars, they laughed. And yet history remembers the dreamers, the doers, the relentless ones, not the doubters. So the next time they doubt you, smile. Let them laugh. Let them talk. Because you already know how this story ends. First they doubt you, then they watch you, finally they copy you. The world is divided into two kinds of people, lions and sheep. Sheep follow. They stay in the herd, afraid to stand alone, afraid to think differently. They move where they are told, do what they are expected to do, and never question why. They are comfortable in the crowd, blending in, never daring to rise above. Sheep wait for permission. They wait for approval. They wait for someone to tell them what to do, how to live, and what is possible. And because of this, they remain powerless. But the lion does not follow the herd. The lion walks alone if necessary. The lion does not seek permission to roar, does not ask if it is allowed to lead. The lion does not wait for approval to go after what it wants.